Hey, hello, it's Simona. Today's topic is about conflicts. Not only about conflicts, but as well how to manage conflicts. I'll be sharing with you 6 ways how you can deal with such a difficult situation, but as well you will learn how to use them. So I believe it will be fun, but useful as well. Conflicts are usually situations where we disagree on something, but there is a crucial difference between having a different opinion or having a conflict with somebody. Do you know what the difference is? It's about having a common goal. If 2 people have common goal and common values, it means that they are having just different opinions if they don't agree. Meaning that you are talking about 2 different paths how to reach the same goal. But if you have a conflict with somebody, then you don't share a goal. So that's the difference. And usually, if we try to solve conflict situation, which we very often meet in our life, is to do so that we really focus on one thing at a time. So talk about one thing at a time. And be very assertive in your communication, which means that you are straightforward, but you also use the positive language. That usually helps very well. So it's about clear communication and about talking about one thing. The other thing about conflict is that if you constantly think about communication, it's not only about that. It's also about how careful you listen. So it's important talking about one thing, but listen very carefully. It's more important than only communicate. So if you are positive in your communication and if you really strive and try to come to a consensus, that's the best way to solve a conflict. But you know, we are only humans. So how to solve a conflict if we really don't only want to reach agreement, but would like to achieve something what we would like? There are several types how to do so. And I'm using often one of them or 2 of them, depends on the situation, because you always have to adapt your style or dealing with some of the problems or challenges and even conflicts in your life, that you adapt it to the person you are talking to. And because conflict always involves emotions and the rational part of us, it's good to know that you have emotional reaction, but as well a rational reaction to conflict. So you can solve a conflict with 3 ways with your emotions. So emotional reaction on a conflict can be that you fly. So you avoid everything and you just go away. In this case, you don't learn anything because, you know, exchanging opinion or listening to somebody else's opinion, which is different, it's a good way to do because you can learn. And I always say if we avoid and if we just fly away, then we don't learn about something which might help us in the future. But nevertheless, so the first one is avoiding. The second one is about fighting, meaning that you are competing. Then of course you share everything you know, but you do not listen to the other person. So you might win, but do you learn something? And the third emotional reaction is about giving up. If you give up, you leave somebody else with their opinion and leaving them win. So with conflicts, you might have a feeling that conflicts are about winning and losing. They are, but winning and losing, it's about having or actually giving yourself the opportunity to learn something, which means that you will progress and you will develop and you will be more creative and you will come up with new solutions. On the other hand, if you understand it a little bit different, my belief and my understanding is that sometimes we win and sometimes we learn. So you never lose whatever you do. And this is a very good intro to the 3 rational reactions on conflict management. And the first one is to avoid the responsibility, meaning that you are transferring the solution of a conflict which you are having with somebody to the third person, on the third person. So somebody else is solving the conflict instead of you. And then this third person is guilty, but you just leave and you and the partner where you were discussing something, you stay there and somebody else is then solving the topic between you. And better way how to rationally approach the conflict management is to reach a consensus. Consensus is something where both parties agree on, And both parties agree, meaning that they come up with a new solution. So they agree on something and they both learn, which is a great thing to do. And the last conflict management style, or the third rational one, is a compromise. You come up with a reasonable solution for both parties. So both of you have a feeling you're one. Or, you know how I say, you both learn something. Okay. So I hoped I covered that area, which is very tough in our lives because you simply don't know how to solve it. We might ask somebody else for help, but just pay attention to the fact that if you have a common goal with your spouse or your colleague at the job or in the company, then you are just sharing different opinions. And listening to other people's opinions is growth. If you don't share the common goal, meaning that, for example, you and your spouse, you want to go for the vacation and the other one doesn't want to, you don't have a goal, so you have a conflict. If you want to go for a vacation, then just agree on the location. So it's about sharing different opinions. I hope this was helpful. For me, I really often use one of those types, once again, depending who is the person on the opposite side of me or whom I'm talking to and listening to, and to make it useful for you. Please leave your answers below in the comments based on 2 questions I have for you. The first one is, what conflict type are you? And the second one is, how are you solving your conflicts? Think about those 6 approaches and share with me what do you think about it and how do you use them. So, thanks a lot for listening. I hope and I believe it was useful, and next time we will see each other. And before I leave, give this a like if you are excited so more people can see this, and subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified every single time I share a video. Until then, thanks a lot, take care and see you soon. Bye bye!